Okay, everybody always says that the boys are much less careful than the girls. And now I have the actual evidence to prove it. I've had my little bathroom cups for 3.5 years now, and they've been just fine. And yesterday, in a sad turn of events, the boys' cup lived its very last day. And I'm not surprised. This thing has been shattered for a while now. It was just a matter of time. So I went back to check on the girls' cup to make sure that like that one wasn't also nigh into its end. It's fine. Doesn't have a single crack in it. Not one. So that's great. So now I was going to bring the super glue back to glue this and just make it last till the end of the year and then just get brand new ones for next year. I forgot the super glue. You can hardly even tell. Oh my gosh. Hey, it'll work. It'll work for now. And if we're being honest, it's going to work through the end of the year because I'm not really in any rush to go replace it at this exact moment. Good morning. Hello. It's early. It's not even that early. I feel like it's early. Today, I have a question. How in the world do kids peel off their name tags, which I have packing taped onto their desk? Because I used packing tape to attach a sheet protector to this desk originally. I cannot get this packing tape off. And yet all around my classroom, you'll see that the edges of all these little packing tape pieces are peeled up. How do they do it? I had to bring a little spatula to try and scrape this off, and I don't even know if it's going to work. Children, I don't know. They must have secret superpowers or something. Now, granted, their name tags have a little bit of lift on the edges, but they're not peeling from the middle. They're peeling from the... I don't know. My mind is blown. You are not going to believe what I just found. I scooted this kid's desk forward to stand on it to hang things up, and oh my gosh. Look at this. That trough tray situation is full of water. This is full of water. The whole desk. Why are children the greatest? Why? What? We did this cute project. We read the story Chrysanthemum, and then we made these clovers that say I'm lucky to be me, and we wrote all the reasons why we're lucky to be ourselves, and they are adorable. The kids came up with the cutest reasons why they're lucky to be themselves. So basically what I did is I made the clover. I made my example and it showed it to them, talked about why you're lucky to be yourself, like what makes you unique basically. And there's things like I'm healthy, I'm athletic, I can do sports, I can sing, all these awesome, adorable things. And I read through all of them in my heart, you guys, my heart. I love these little people. All right, today is a teacher work day, and if you don't have teacher work days, like I never have teacher work days, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to the world. I love it. I'm in my comfy clothes on a Friday with no students, and I'm getting all the work done. I spent the morning putting all their grades in. Sorry, I'm looking at the clock to try and tell how long I've been working on this for. So I put all their grades in. It took me about an hour and a half. Then we had a little meeting to talk about some stuff that we're doing at school, just like a voluntary. Some teachers got together to brainstorm some stuff. I just sorted through the class library just to make sure everything's in its right boxes. And I am totally shocked. Everything is in its right boxes. Like kids are putting books away where they go, and it's the most exciting thing. So I just went through to kind of make sure that I don't need to get rid of anything, just to kind of see what's in there. That all went really well. And now I'm going to go through my teacher library of books because we're at the point in the year, March, where I've used everything I'm going to use, and I have a really good idea of what I still need to use in terms of like books to teach lessons. So I'm just going to go through and see if there's any that I might need to put in a different location, like not keep them secret back here because I don't use them enough. Maybe the kids need to have access to them, or maybe I need to give them to somebody else, just to kind of, we're doing some cleansing because I feel like March is a good time. Like I know what I did and didn't use this year basically, so I can kind of go through and start clearing out some stuff. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm also gonna do my most favorite task, which I do every time I come into my classroom with extra time. That is reorganize some of the stuff back here. By the way, my name is Brittany and I'm a second grade teacher in Utah. So we're going to start this class library, and then we'll just kind of look through some of the things. This will kind of be like an evaluation of this year almost, like we're getting to the end of COVID year. And I guess I'm going through some of the stuff, so maybe I'll share with you some of the things that have been good and bad about this year. I don't know. We'll see where this video goes. Okay, I've sorted through the books. I have a small pile of ones that I'm not sure about, so here's what we came up with. I have these audiobooks that I have never ever in my entire life used, so I'm gonna get rid of those. I have these 2 chapter books that were in one of my seasonal boxes, and they're honestly just too hard for these kids. I have these really cute little Scholastic News magazines with really fun stories in them, but they're like newspapers, so I can't really put them anywhere, so I'm trying to decide if I want to keep those or not. Okay, and I have a bunch of really cute books about like nouns and verbs and all those things, and they're adorable and I love them, but I just like always forget to use them or read them, so I'm thinking I need to, I don't know, put these in a place where I'll use them a little bit more. This is a way cute book, Little Red Riding Hood. Adorable book about writing, but I've never read it to the kids, so that might need to be gifted to somebody else. This was given to me, I think, because it's a book that some 2nd graders wrote, which is really cool, but I've never actually used it for anything either, so probably, I don't know why this one was in my box. It's a cute book, but I don't use this for a lesson. Same thing for this. This is a really cool book that I got about how to write books, but I haven't used it before in teaching, so I need to put this in an accessible place as well. These are just books that kids need access to. And then I have the complete range of the pigeon books, and I only use 2 of them for a lesson, so I need to put the other ones out. And then I had an extra copy of one of the pigeon books. I'm going to give that to my practicum student, I think. So basically what we're discovering is I was hoarding some books that I don't use to teach, that I need to either put in a box to just set out when I do teach those books so that they're fun books, like books of the month. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all of these in a box, and I'm going to relabel the box of QR code books, because those are actually all out on the shelf, to be rain gutter books. And these will be books that like I don't want out all the time because I kind of want to keep them nice, or they're relevant to a specific topic, and they'll be books to put in the rain gutter on occasions. Good idea. Thanks for that tip. Okay, I did a couple of things. I cleaned up some stuff and sorted a couple things, and got rid of some things that I just don't use anymore. I also did something to help me, so I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so I used to have these 2 crates that had all of my language arts curriculum and all of our language arts centers sitting over there on top of the filing cabinet. And while it is a great place to set, I couldn't see inside the folders, and so a lot of weeks I wasn't using the stuff that I had like in these resources. Speaking of, I might have to update these to be cute. Anyway, we'll do that over the summer. So I moved these down onto the counter. I printed out a new label for that because I wanted it to match these ones because I'm extra like that. And I have just some like extra material sitting in the back part of this crate. There used to be a little set of drawers in here that was for a sentence sort, but I never used it. So, brief classroom tour while we walk our way over here. I brought the little drawers over here, and I took a bunch of random junk out of my desk drawers, like glue sticks and whiteout and hole punches and stickers and batteries and a bajillion paper clips. So these drawers are a little bit more just like my personal stuff instead of holding so many office supplies. So I'm becoming slightly more organized as time goes on. You wouldn't know by looking because it's a disaster right now because I have stuff everywhere. There's a glue gun on the ground in my shoes too. That's fun. But like overall, I'm becoming more organized. So I'm now finding I've made a pile there, and I've got piles here and a pile there. Forget the organized comment. Just pretend like I didn't say that because clearly I am not. So now I need to clean up all my messes so it actually looks like I'm organized. I kind of want to go through my guided reading area over there because it just feels kind of crowded. It's mostly because my chair is the worst and I want to buy a new chair. but I can't do that right now. Anyway, lunchtime means let's watch Secrets of the Zoo on Disney Plus while we eat our lunch because it's a teacher work day, but I think I can still take a break during lunch because I never usually get to, so let's make today special. All right, so I just did a bunch of work and I got everything that I had out cleaned up, and I figured out a bunch of stuff for my lesson plans next week and just did like some thinking through some problems. I graded all of their writing. A ton of stuff got done. And then I was feeling like, man, really come a long ways, and it just seemed a little too clean in here. So I did this, and now I have a whole nother fun activity of mess to clean up. Here's what I've discovered. I love this drawer system because it's got all my guided reading stuff in it, but I had this drawer full of all of these file folders of like games and activities that correspond to specific phonics principles. But I didn't even know what was in there. Like half the stuff I didn't even know I had. So what I'm doing is putting everything back in their little color-coded folders, and I'm going to make myself a table of contents to keep in or on the front of the drawer. So I know what I have in there, so maybe I'll be more inclined to use it. I'm trying to be a little bit smarter about things here so that I don't just have useless stuff in here, because some of these things I'm like, oh, that would be so perfect to use during guided reading. But instead I sit there and I'm like, how am I going to teach this in guided reading? I have no things. And there's a whole resource sitting right behind me. I just didn't know I had it. So I'm going to work smarter, not harder. And I'm going to put a table of contents in there so that I know. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can use my computer again. These are my blue light glasses that I'm really liking. And here we go. So this was 100% unintentional, but what was going to be a like 15-minute project has now been almost 2 hours. And I made my little, what is this thing called? Table of contents to put on the front of the drawer. And then I also found a new resource that I'm going to try using. So I'm going to put it all in page protectors and in a folder so I can test it out this week. And if I like it, then we'll have some more copies made. It's actually, let me just show you. So if you use Wonders, this is in the tier 2, which one was it? I think it was the phonics and word study intervention. So you just search tier 2 and it's phonics and word study. And it has these practice pages for each week sound. So like we just did our controlled vowels, right? So the idea is that I'd use this to kind of start each of my guided reading lessons. So each kid would just, every time you come back here for guided reading, you pull this out, you read the words, you read the sentences, and then you make your own words. And then I could do activities where they like time each other or highlight the patterns, or, you know, like we could do all sorts of good stuff with it. But I think this could be really cool because this practices the specific phonics, which is really nice, instead of just, yeah, I don't know. And it's in context by itself, and then also you kind of making your own. So we could make like nonsense words to quiz each other on too. And it has, to see if I can find one in here, there's a couple of them that are like decodable pages. Here we go. That have the real words and the nonsense words to just practice the patterns, which I love. Based on what we've been learning this year, it's really important for them to practice it with nonsense words too. So we make sure that they haven't just like, they're not just using visual memory to memorize the words, that they're actually looking for the actual patterns that we taught them. So yeah, we're going to try this out. So that's fun. So I'm going to finish off this teacher workday by putting this thing together. And wow, I got a lot of work done. It's not visible work. Like I can't like, wow, look what I did, like a classroom setup, but I got a lot done. My next major task to tackle in terms of moving forward will be how to do math fact fluency. So if you have a beautiful system that you love for teaching your kids math facts and fact fluency, let me know, because that's what I'm looking for next, is a beautiful system for that. I feel really good about the rest of my systems. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. My teacher workday, super fun. I'm gonna go now, leave you guys in peace, and I will see you around next time. See ya.